I'm just you trying to hurry here. June 20th, 2017 meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve.
Second?
Got motion and second, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on minor changes to final master development plan 255-16, concept development plan 255-85, and conditional use permit phase 1, chapter 255-16 for the St. Croix Meadows redevelopment site, 2200 Carmichael Road, Clint Kloss.
I'm going to ask Rob Keane with WSB to give an update of where they're at and explain some of their minor changes to the plan.
Thank you. Again, Rob Keane, WSB and Associates. What we've presented and what we've included in your packet is essentially some changes to the overall layout of the plan. Now, you'll notice that there's not a large deviation from the master plan that's already been approved. But what we've looked at is, as we've worked with potential tenants for the brewery building and working with the facility with the stadium and some of the traffic and pedestrian flow through that area in front, we've made some design changes that required us to basically change the layout in terms of how we are going to allow pedestrian traffic to flow back and forth and the location of certain uses. So there was the office use and the restaurant use that were located adjacent to the water feature in the center. Essentially what we're looking at is flipping those so that we bring the restaurant down and provide more access from one more of an entertainment use through over towards the stadium. We also are retaining the porte cochere, or the drive-through on the front of the existing building with the redevelopment, and that necessitated moving some trunk utility lines and changing the water feature area a bit. So instead of running our water and sewer trunk lines directly where they were in the original plan, we are shifting those to the west a bit, which necessitated the redesign of the water feature. So in doing so, what we looked at, and you'll notice in the attachment we gave you, there is a redesign that focuses that area more towards pedestrian traffic and then provides some limited vehicle drive-through for access to the property. One of the other features that changed in this is the layout of the parking lots. You'll notice that we changed the configuration slightly to accommodate some of the other design features, and in doing so, there was a reduction in some parking, but what we had provided to begin with exceeded the required parking. And so this is still well within what would be needed for the types of uses that are listed and shown and that we've worked with the city throughout the process. The alignment is better for some of the traffic flow as we move through and to allow ingress and egress out of the site. And then we're also looking at some minor changes from the standpoint of property lines. You'll notice that there's some minor changes to the north where there's some access into the stadium area. From this point, though, what you're seeing in terms of property lines is essentially what we are going to be moving forward with in terms of working on a final plat. So other small things, relocation of some of the bullpens from there in the stadium area from the existing, or where they were in the preliminary, to where they're shown on your updated plans. And by and large, while this is a difference from what we had originally submitted, we're not changing any of the uses, we're not changing any of the traffic flow. It's really more focused on accommodating the uses in the best way to allow for pedestrian traffic, for the use of the tenant in the brewery building. And we want to make sure that everybody's on board in terms of what we're doing and knows where things are going as we come forward with the amended preliminary and final plat.
I would call what you're doing just fine tuning, because of now you kind of know who's going to be there and what it's going to be used for and all that kind of stuff. Could there be more of this as more details come forward as to who's doing what and what these buildings? I mean, none of this is bad. It's just,
Sure.
I guess I'm guessing that you don't know everything at this point, and as you know more, there could be potentially more
What I would
incremental changes.
Right, and what I would anticipate, where we're at with this phase right now, I think, is where we're at. So we've gotten to the point where, we know generally, working with the city staff, what we're doing for fire access and working with the tenant for the brewery building, that's been brought down to the point where we understand that completely. Now, as we get out to some of the other buildings that are shown, we show these footprints for restaurant, office in the first phase. As other tenants come in and we work with them on building plans and then come in with final development plans, there may be some slight shifting, some slight movement of buildings within those envelopes, but it's all going to be within the property lines that we show and we have here.
And I think it's important to note when they notified me that they were going to be making these tweaks to the plan, it was a good time for us to be able to satisfy some of the conditions that we placed on them in previous approvals. You'll see the intersections, all three of them, and working with our traffic engineer and theirs as well, we were able to get those improvements shown on the concept plan now. We were able to have the fire access that Scott wanted to see. Also, some of our utility locations or relocations were actually some recommendations that our engineer had as well, just so that Tom and his public works staff could get and maintain, some of the city trunk lines that would run through there. So technically, it's one of those deals where I probably have the administrative authority to move forward with, but because of a project of this size and significance, I think it's important, that we bring them through the approval bodies so everybody can take a look at it.
So what do we need here? Do we need a motion to approve this, or what?
It would be a motion, it'd be a motion, and then to include the staff conditions, or staff recommendation with conditions that are listed.
I will make that with all necessary appendages to this, as Mike is indicating.
Okay, is there a second?
Yes.
Got a motion, second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on minor changes to preliminary plat for the St. Croix Meadows redevelopment site, 2200 Carmichael Road, Clint Claus for Hudson Gateway.
This is just the property lines essentially, and the utility corridors.
What, is there any change? I mean, why is?
Yeah, this is part of what Rob explained in terms of shifting some property lines around the preliminary plat is what shows that.
I mean, I can't
No,
figure
it's
it out
the-
on these maps, I'm just gonna have to trust you that,
Yep.
that it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Okay, is there a motion?
to approve.
Got a motion, second?
Yes.
Got a motion, second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on entering into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, sub 1, sub E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investment of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session regarding the potential purchase of park property on 10 Bergmoos Park.
So moved.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Yes.
Motion second, roll call.
Mary Claire?
Here,
Aye.
aye.
Frank?
Aye.
Randy? Yes. Fred?
Yes.
Rich?
Aye.
Why did you guys say aye?
Motion's
We just wanted you to do that.
Motion's approved. We're in closed session.
I make a motion that we postpone this for further review.
And I second
A
that.
motion is second to postpone. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Other business for information purposes only, for upcoming agendas, final plat Carmichael Ridge, second edition, final development plan, chapter 255-85 for phase 1 of the St. Croix Meadows redevelopment site, 2200 Carmichael Road, claim clause for Hudson Gateway LLC, and proposed B4 district amendments. Anything else that people would like to, anybody would like to see on the agenda?
Do you have next meeting date?
It would go, next month will be the 1st, and then,
August 1st?
yep, August 1st, and then the 14th. Would be our next meeting dates, yep.
Nothing further in July?
Say something.
We could have one on the 18th, would it be, in July?
So he knows.
But
Everybody else can chime in.
I don't have anything pending unless this passed, our closed session item that we made, a motion on an open session needs to come back prior to the 31st.
Yeah, that's why I said 15 days to try to get this done.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to request that we get a hard copy packet.
Okay.
You know, unfortunately, you can't read maps and you can't look very good at this. I know everybody wants to move into this century, but it's hard to get these maps to look at
The
properly.
maps are the issue. Even these ones you shrunk up here are really tough to read. They really are. Danny used to give us pretty big ones and,
Yep.
I mean, I hate to be foolish, but that makes a difference.
They don't have to be delivered, they can be mailed or whatever, or here when we
Tell
get
them we
here.
can come pick them up, anything. I mean, just,
Okay, that would be my only question is delivery.
You don't need to-
Do you want me to?
We can pick them up.
we can
Okay.
pick them up. If you said they're ready after a certain time, we could come by and get them.
Okay, that's perfectly okay with us. That'd
Between
be
the
just
four of
fine.
us, we only live a blocks away.
Oh, and we're driving by here every day.
So just put the hours that you're open.
Or just have it here ready for us when we get here.
One of us
too.
will pick it
As long as I'm getting it emailed, I can review it and then have it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Stand adjourned. Thank you.